The most financially secure person you know isn't driving the brand new car with the $800 monthly payment. They're driving a 10-year-old car with faded paint and a perfectly running engine. While everyone else is financing a status symbol, they are quietly winning a completely different game. And today, we're going to talk about exactly what that game is and why more people are starting to play it. Here's something nobody tells you at the dealership. The moment a brand new car rolls off that lot, it loses between 15 and 20% of its value. Not next year, not in 5 years, the moment you drive it home. By the end of year one, you've already lost close to 30%. By year five, that shiny new vehicle is worth roughly half of what you paid for it. But here's where it gets interesting. By year 8, 9, 10, that depreciation curve almost completely flattens out. The car is still running, still getting you from point A to point B, still doing everything a car is supposed to do, but the financial bleeding has stopped entirely. So when you see someone driving a 2014 or 2015 sedan, don't picture someone who can't afford better. Picture someone who watched other people pay $30,000 in depreciation and decided they weren't going to be next. That's not poverty, that's strategy. There's a book called The Millionaire Next Door, and it completely shattered the popular image of what a wealthy person looks like. The researchers behind it spent decades studying actual millionaires, not the ones on Instagram, not the ones leasing Porsches, the real ones. And what they found was shocking to most people. The typical American millionaire drives a used car, lives in a modest neighborhood, doesn't wear designer clothes, doesn't announce their wealth. They've simply spent years making quiet, unglamorous decisions that compounded into genuine financial freedom. And the car is always one of the biggest decisions. Think about what $800 a month actually means over 10 years. That's $96,000, nearly six figures on a depreciating asset before you even count the insurance premium increase, the higher registration fees, the gap insurance the dealer pushes you on at closing. We're talking well over $100,000 out of your life in a decade just to impress people in traffic who aren't paying attention to you anyway. Now redirect that money. Put it into an index fund, put it into a rental property, put it into your own business. Use some of it to simply work one less day a week and reclaim your time. That is what the 10-year car owner is actually doing with the difference. The car isn't the point. The freedom the car is funding. That's the point. Now let's talk about something nobody discusses in personal finance videos: the psychological cost of owning a brand new car. You know that feeling. You've just driven off the lot. You park at the grocery store and you spend 2 full minutes choosing the spot farthest from everyone else. You walk in, handle your business, and on the way back out, your eyes go straight to your car. Just checking, you get a small scratch in a parking lot and your stomach drops. A door ding and your whole day is ruined. That is not freedom. That is a monthly payment for stress. Now, imagine owning a car that already has 110,000 miles on it. The paint has a little character. You park anywhere. You walk away without looking back. A shopping cart rolls into your door and you shrug and keep moving. That psychological relief is real, and it costs nothing. In fact, it saves you money. There's a quiet confidence that comes with not caring what your car says about you, because you've already settled the question internally. You know what you're building. You know where your money is going. You don't need the car to communicate anything on your behalf. The person driving the newest model on the block is often speaking loudest with their vehicle precisely because they haven't yet figured out what else to say. Wealth, real wealth, is almost always silent. We live in a culture that has completely confused looking rich with being rich. The two are not only different, they are often opposites. The person leasing a luxury SUV on a $60,000 salary is not wealthy. They are performing wealth, and not performance has a monthly invoice. The person driving a paid-off 2013 with a clean service history and $40,000 sitting in a brokerage account, that person has options. They can quit a job they hate. They can take a month off. They can handle an emergency without going into debt. Options are what money actually buys, and you can't finance options. So the next time you see a decade-old car on the road,
a little weathered, maybe a few miles past its prime, don't assume they can't afford something newer. Assume they've done the math. Assume they value their peace of mind and their bank account more than a stranger's opinion. Because while the rest of the world is making payments on status, they are quietly building something that actually lasts. Now, I want to hear from you. What year is your car and what is the best memory you've ever made in it? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one.